We want to go live right now to our very own Michael Bryant, who is in Waterbury, Connecticut, outside of that courthouse. Michael, it is good to see you. I'm going to ask you a two-part question here. One, what does the scene look like today? And I'm wondering if whatever scene you see, is that because we are anticipating Alex Jones to make an appearance here today?
You know, it's very early for a two-part question, Jesse, but let me give it my best shot. Yes and yes. No, the atmosphere here is, you know, it's somewhat reserved. When Norm Pattis, Alex Jones' attorney, came to the courthouse earlier today, I asked him a couple of quick questions, but it was very polite. I was looking around asking myself, why is nobody else yelling questions at this guy? But they weren't, and I did. And at that point, his attorney, Alex Jones' attorney, said, I don't know if he's going to be here today. I know we've been told to produce him when the court requests, but I don't know. He said, maybe it'll be 2 o'clock today. Honestly, I don't know. Now, when an attorney tells me, honestly, I don't know, and we're in the midst of a trial, you know, I take it with the proverbial grain of salt. But about 10 minutes ago, an ominous black SUV pulls up. A couple of burly guys get out, and one of them approaches the gathering, as you see behind me, and announces that Alex Jones will be here at 1:30, and he will be making a statement at that time. So that's the plan, Jesse. He's here at 1:30. I think we can assume it's because he's going to take the stand this afternoon.
You think that that's going to happen? He might take the stand later in the afternoon as opposed to the start of a fresh morning, maybe tomorrow morning. I mean, if he's making some sort of statement to the reporters before he gets on the stand, I'm not surprised by that, but what would you make of what he would say today?
You know, we've heard him say just about everything. You know that whole gag order theory? I'm not so sure Alex Jones is big on that. So he says things that get him in trouble. He makes predictions about the outcome. He blames the court. He called the judge a tyrant yesterday. So, yeah, it'll be entertaining. It may not be in his best interest, but I'm not so sure he really gives that much of a thought. You've heard of client control issues, Jesse. This guy's got to be a client control nightmare.
Well, I have to ask you, are we going to see not only Alex Jones outside the courthouse, are we going to see him take the stand for both, the plaintiff's case and the defense's case? I mean, do you think that he is going to testify in 2 rounds here? Because I'm also of the opinion that Alex Jones is not really shying away from the witness stand, because he might not be speaking so much directly to the jury, but more his supporters, right? He's trying to maintain support, financial support, keep selling his products, keep selling ad space, because right now he had a very serious monetary judgment levied against him in Texas. We're anticipating a rather large award here in Connecticut. So I think he would be eager to take the stand. I'm just curious if you think we're going to see him 2 times.
Yeah, that's a good question. We had the same question in Austin. Let's face it, you can't keep this guy quiet. He's looking for an audience. His motives have, I think, nothing to do with winning or losing this trial. And as we know, liability's already been determined. This is all about the dollars. I don't think he cares either way. I think he believes in all publicity is good publicity. So I think, obviously, for our audience, this is a little confusing because it's a civil case and he's being called in the plaintiff's case, and he's the defendant. So he could then appear as a defendant representing his own interest when the defense case takes place. It'll really depend on how that first part of this process plays out, how his counsel, Norm Pattis, feels he did as a witness in the plaintiff's case, and then, of course, during the cross-examination where he can effectively rehabilitate his own witness. If he feels there are things they didn't quite get covered, maybe they bring him back in the defense case.
All right. Michael Bryant, maybe when Alex Jones shows up for that press conference, you can try to squeeze in a question or two. I know it's sometimes tough with Alex Jones because he really has a statement, says it, and then leaves, but we'll watch and see.